Hi, my name is Joe Griffin, and I wanted to introduce you to my project. For the next 5 minutes, I interview Jerry Slayton, who is an SMI evaluator, and that stands for seriously mentally ill. So he meets with individuals who are either violent, have a criminal history, have a history of substance abuse, and he's able to diagnose these individuals. He's been doing this for about a decade. He has his master's degree and was able to meet with me to discuss further what he does with assessment and evaluation. And I thought that would be very interesting since we covered assessment and assessment tools in our class. His assessment doesn't really have a name, but he covers what he goes through when he meets with patients, and I thought that was very interesting. So I hope you enjoy. What do you do for a living, Jerry?
I do the SMI screening. It's a standard assessment form that our company put together, and the managers of the company and the quality managers, just to make sure that we cover everything that should be asked, and Access has certain questions that are required as well. And the assessment form is evolving constantly. But we sometimes will ask additional information that's not on the form just because the information's needed.
Since there's not a name for Jerry's assessment tool, I asked him what it covers and what he asked the individuals that he's assessing.
Medical history covers treatment history, medications, symptoms, danger to self, danger to others, substance use. And then it goes into psychosocial of childhood traumas, employment history, education, support, relationships, housing issues, and whether they can, they're covering their activities of daily living. And then we have a mini mental health assessment where we write down whether they seem stable or not. And then we make our diagnostic impression. Our assessment form is sent to reviewers by the name of Solari, and they review to determine if they're SMI, which is seriously mentally ill, or whether they're general mental health and substance abuse.
Who refers the people you're meeting with?
So there's a lot of different ways to refer. There's a self-referral. They can be referred by family. Oftentimes social workers in hospitals, in the forensic system, it could be correctional health, probation departments, the judge could order the SMI screening as well. Sometimes we see people because they're trying to mitigate a person's consequences. I mean, I see all kinds of sex offenders, all kinds of violence. A lot of violence in the hospital. If you're court ordered in the hospital, typically it's because you're a danger to yourself or others. So yeah, so there's a lot of violence. People that are extremely violent, it could be substance use, it could be a mental health issue, it could be personality traits, it could be a lot of different things. But
when aspects like mental illness, violence, and substance abuse can be comorbid, how do physicians and psychologists make an accurate diagnosis?
Well, substance abuse is very common.
Yeah.
Sometimes difficult to know which one came first, the substance use or the mental health.
Jerry also mentioned the resources that are available to patients that he meets with, whether it's SMI or mentally stable. His company and insurance companies that need his evaluation are able and willing to offer resources like housing, rehabilitation, and treatment for those that are being evaluated. When you're not able to make a decision about someone you meet with, then what happens?
Well, we request for additional collateral. The reviewers like that we make a decision, but oftentimes if someone's in a court-ordered situation in the hospital and there's not enough evidence of them being seriously mentally ill, we'll ask that the reviewers, perhaps they should request for records because it's indecisive at this point.
My interview with Jerry taught me how important it is that physicians and psychologists are taking their time to assess and evaluate patients they're meeting with, whether it's for violence, substance abuse, or mental illness, the care is needed to take care of these people and make an accurate diagnosis. And Jury was a great example of that, and thank you for watching.